NC State basketball just had a remarkable run all the way to the Final Four. Will NC State football have a similar run all the way to the college football playoff? I say, don't rule it out in a wide open ACC. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. Ready to break down the NC State Wolfpack. A bit of a preview over what I think is one of the more intriguing teams in the ACC this year. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below, including our website, thegridironexpert.com. We've got tons of exclusive content over there to help you get through this offseason that is moving very, very quickly. We also have our mailing address. Go check that out. Send us some of your team's gear, some NC State gear to be represented in every single Gridiron Expert video, guys. We want you to take advantage of everything we have there for you. We want you to become a member of our GE Nation because we are producing college football content for you 24/7, 365, and we cannot wait for this season to get going. So, look, guys, this NC State team has been, I would say, very consistent under Dave Doeren. You know, they've really put up some solid results over these last few years. They're coming off a 9-4 season in 2023. There are a couple losses were to Notre Dame, a 3-point loss to Louisville, a defensive slugfest, I should add, 13-10, a blowout loss to Duke, and then a loss to Kansas State in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. But they have won at least 8 games in each of the last 4 years. So I feel like Dave Doeren's starting to hit his stride, but the Wolfpack, despite having some strong teams over these last few years, have been unable to get over the hump. They haven't been able to get to that big, New Year's Six bowl game. They've been unable to win the ACC, obviously a very competitive conference, and being in the same division for a while with the likes of Clemson and Florida State has made that very difficult. But this is a season where I feel like the Wolfpack could make a very special run. And here's why. Starts at the quarterback position. If you remember last year, NC State was playing quarterback carousel, right? They were beat up left and right. It wasn't the best quarterback play in the country by any means. It wasn't the best quarterback play in the conference. It was very inconsistent with injuries and just inconsistent play and things like that. But now they've got Grayson McCall coming in at quarterback, the star QB from Coastal Carolina. And if he can stay healthy, battled some injuries last year, if he can stay healthy, this Wolfpack team offensively is going to be just fine. McCall had over 10,000 passing yards during his 4 years as a starter with the Chanticleers. He had 106 total touchdowns during his time at Coastal Carolina. They also went in to add Jordan Waters, the running back from Duke. 5 years with the Blue Devils, had 819 yards and 12 touchdowns last year. Those 12 touchdowns led the ACC. That's an offense, guys, worth watching. That's an offense that's going to immediately put them up there as one of the better offenses, I think, in the conference. Grayson McCall at quarterback is going to make him already one of the better quarterbacks in the entire ACC. You've got a very solid running back to complement him, a relatively solid offensive line. The defense is actually the only thing that slightly concerns me for NC State. They lose their anchor, their leader for so many years, and Peyton Wilson. That hurts. Losing him at linebacker is a big loss. They're going to have to bulk up there. They're going to have to bulk up in the secondary. But this is a defensive unit that typically is strong under Dave Doeren. Typically, they play very well on that side of the ball. And so you look at everything that's aligning for NC State. They've got a very good quarterback. One of the better quarterbacks they've had in the last few years, I would say, at least in the last probably 2 or 3 years. You've got a very strong, capable running back that was bullying people at Duke. You've got a defense that's typically pretty strong, and you've got a schedule that is very, very favorable. And we already broke down NC State's schedule during our schedule preview series. We talked about a lot of teams during that time. The Wolfpack are in our preseason top 25, so that kind of shows you how highly we think of them. But in that schedule preview, we talked about some of the key games. They have a Week 2 matchup in Charlotte against Tennessee, and that's going to be a great opportunity to see what this NC State team is capable of. You're playing a very strong Tennessee team, one that's going to have a very electric offense. I really could see this game being a shootout with as high-octane offenses as we believe both these teams are going to have. Charlotte, great neutral site there. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a really good test for NC State, and a win there is going to send the momentum and the expectations even higher because that would more likely start them at 2-0 as they start to inch closer to conference play. The road slate in conference play concerns me a little bit. At Clemson, at Georgia Tech, at North Carolina, and those Georgia Tech, North Carolina games are back-to-back to close the season. So back-to-back road games to end the season. But here's what I'm going to say. The rest of the schedule is really, really favorable. And I think they're going to be favored in the majority of the games that they play in this year. And their 2 toughest games, in my eyes, are Tennessee and the road game at Clemson. All right? If they can split Tennessee and Clemson, week 2 against Tennessee, week 4 against Clemson, if they can just split those games, there is a very good chance the Wolfpack could be 9-1 going into those final 2 games of the year at Georgia Tech and at North Carolina. Again, I'm not predicting that right now. We're going to have our official prediction coming your way here in a couple months. We're going to break down every single college football team game by game. But the schedule is so favorable. This talent is so favorable. The coaching is so favorable. I think Dave Doeren's one of the more underrated coaches, not just in the ACC, but in the entire country. To the point that if everything gels and this team stays healthy and it goes their way, they could start 9-1 before the final 2 games of the year, take them to Atlanta and take them to UNC. Not that far of a road trip either. If they can win one of those and finish at 10-2, that could be good enough to get them into a ACC championship game. You win that, you go to the college football playoff. Even if you don't go to the ACC championship game, 10-2 could maybe still be good enough to get you into the college football playoff. Look, guys, that's the beauty of this season. It's a 12-team playoff. So your conference champs are going, there's a lot of at-large bids. There's a lot of at-large berths. And if NC State's playing really good football, just watch out. They might have a chance to slip in there. This has been a remarkable year for NC State athletics. You know, the men's team makes the Final Four. The women's basketball team makes the Final Four. Can football complete the trifecta? Could the football team, could they get a run to an ACC championship? Could they get a run to the 12-team college football playoff? I, again, am saying do not rule it out. Everything is lining up very well for a special season for Dave Doeren and the Pack. They've just got to stay healthy, and they've just got to make sure they do not slip up in a trap game. They've got to make sure they do not squander what has been an amazing opportunity set before them. We'll have our prediction for them coming out here in just a few months, and then right after that, we'll finally get to see this team take the field. But I am a big fan of them this year, and I'm telling you, do not sleep on them, not just in the ACC, but on the national stage. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below. Again, our website, thegridironexpert.com, our mailing address to send us some of your team's gear to be featured in every single Gridiron Expert video. We want you to represent your team and become a member of our GE Nation. So all of that, again, down in the description below. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.
Yeah.